Hi and welcome to the first tutorial for AutoCAD. I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that I've gone through in class. If you're having any trouble with it, you can look back on these videos. These videos will be done over the next couple of weeks and will be put up onto web courses. So the first thing that I want to do is just show you the overall layout of AutoCAD and give you an idea of exactly what you're looking at and what to watch out for. So the first thing is our command line. And these here are all our commands. And for the first 2 or 3 weeks, what you really want to do is get to know this command line, which is your draw command, and then this command, which is your modify command. So your draw command first of all starts with your line. You've got your polyline, circle, arcs, and then you have stuff like rectangles, hatching, and that's kind of stuff that we'll do a little bit later on. But realistically, most of the drawing you'll do will be using lines, straight lines, curved lines, polylines. And then the second lot of commands that I want to show you are the modify toolbar. So this here is the modify toolbar. So you've got stuff like move, rotate, trim, erase, copy, mirror, fillet, explode, offset, and then there's a few more down here, which is break at a point, and we look at these as we go along. But again, out of these here, I'm really looking at offset, erase, copy, move, rotate, and trim. And these are, I'd say between these two toolbars, you're using say these two toolbars maybe 60 to 70% of the time. Because a lot of the time what you'll find is you're editing existing drawings, and when you're trying to work around with existing drawings, you'll find you'll use these. And even from scratch, everything you draw, you'll start drawing with lines. So any drawing is a series of lines, and once you get to know how to draw lines correctly, you will very quickly start to understand how to use AutoCAD. Now the second thing I want to show you is down here, and this is your command toolbar or your command line. So this here is very, very important. So along here, it's asking you to type in the command. So each time, either click on the command that you're looking to use, or else you type it in. And as time goes by, you'll find shorthand ways of actually using these commands. But what I would suggest for starting off is to use these toolbars, because it's far easier to use these toolbars at the start, and then you'll find after time it'll come easier, and you'll start to use your keyboard to use it. So an example of this is L for line, and then I press enter and it says specify first point, specify second point, enter, and I've drawn a line. So again, if you look at this again and I do that again, if I go line, enter, or even if I click up here in line, the command line is really important because it gives you the command and then it asks you a question. So it says line, specify first point. So you say to yourself, okay, well, what do I want to do? I want to specify the first point. Or what do I need to do? You need to do what the command line is asking you. Then it says specify next point, wherever that next point is. It's saying specify next point if you had another point. On this, I'm just going to say enter, and that's our line drawn. Okay, the other things then that I want to show just is layouts, which are these two here, and these is where we'll do all our printing. So we'll draw in model space, we'll print in layout. So it's important that you understand how to use the layouts, and everything we'll draw in model space, we print in layout. Up here is a tab showing the drawing that we're actually on. So if we click on up here, we'd see that we're on drawing 1. If we created another tab, all we're doing here is creating another file. So we're creating another drawing. We can have as many layouts as we want. So if I create a new layout, I can create. So realistically, I try and do all my drawing on one. If I have a project to do, so I have to do a project for the survey of a house and doing measure drawings for that house, I'll do all the drawings in one file. I won't separate them from ground floor, first floor. I'll just do them all in one file, so they'll be all in here in my drawing, in my model space, and then I'll separate them in my layouts. If I went on to a new project, which would be, say, the next property I go to survey, or a survey of a drainage layout, whatever the case may be, I'll create a new tab, I'll create start drawing, and then I have 2 drawings created. Okay, so that's the difference between going from one to the other. So everything I would say is that when I start a project, and when you start your project, I'd expect that you do everything into one drawing and then separate it through the layouts. And I'll show you how to create the layouts into A1, A2, A3, or whatever the case may be. Now, down here we're in model space, and it tells you if you go into a layout, it'll see it changes to paper space. So I'm in model space there. So that's just the difference between model and paper space. Okay, again, there's a couple of things here. There's ortho, which we'll work on over time. Polar tracking. Again, this is quite important, and I'd use it quite a bit. So if we click that on, I'll just show you here quickly. What you'll find is when you click a line, when you go to 90 or 45, it clicks into position. So you actually just have to point it in the direction it will draw to that direction. But again, we look at it a little bit further on. And then object snap, which is very important, and I'll create a video just for object snap and showing you how it's actually used. Okay, so that's your general introduction. It's very, very quick, just to tell you exactly what we're going to be looking at and how you open a drawing between one and the other, and then just the simple things of drawing lines. Okay, the next thing that I look at is lines, and that'll be on the next video. Okay, thanks.